What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the North Shore 9 podcast presented by FanDuel. This is Bucko Brew, powered by DeFair Coffee and Tea. Ryan, I'm Jim. No DiNardo today. Still, he's having some pretty bad airline luck right now. He is currently stranded in Charlotte, North Carolina. His layover got delayed an entire day, so that's fun. So yeah, Ryan filling in for DiNardo.
Yeah, well, good morning. Last week I filled in for you. This week I'm filling in for DiNardo, and I don't know. It's like might as well just become a regular thing around here. I don't know.
I would say you can just take one of our spots every week. How about that?
There you go. There you go. We got to have a conversation about DiNardo though. So he misses his flight on the way down, and then, like you said, he's stranded in Charlotte. He had a delay, but he I don't know. He had a delay, or he got a notification on the way down. It wasn't true, and he ended up missing the flight. Why? But then he said he didn't have luggage in Charlotte. Did he check a bag? Like, I haven't checked a bag in like 10 years.
He always checks a bag. I don't
Oh,
understand why. He will,
this guy.
you know how he is. I think he just doesn't want to walk around with anything. So like when he's in the airport, he literally just wants to walk and have his phone.
Okay.
Like he basically he has his phone and that's all. He doesn't want anything else. And so yeah, he checks a bag every time. Like when we go to Bradenton, he always checks a bag too. And well, he doesn't check a bag because he drives to Bradenton.
And
But
that's
he
what I was
brings
going
this
to say, because
yeah, he brings this ginormous suitcase, just fills it up. He just brings that one bag.
because I've never, like, I was thinking about that too. Like, I've never flown with him. Usually we go to spring training. He's already, like, he drives. So it's like, because he's so close. So I'm like, did he check a bag? Like, he was in Cleveland for like 3 days. Like, what are you doing? Like, I go on family vacations and I don't check a bag. Like, it's crazy. So I had to give him on blast for that.
Yeah, a 3-day trip to Cleveland, but I don't know why you check a bag. I have no idea why you would do that, but he did, and now he's stuck in Charlotte with nothing, because he checked a bag.
Brutal, DiNardo. Get it together.
Brutal. You guys talked about this. I think. Well, I guess was it last week or was the week before? DiNardo and I talked about a brutal stretch that the Pirates were in, about to approach, facing a lot of teams, above 500. And so far, our Buccos are performing pretty well. They're 6-3 in their last 9 games. They've caught up to St. Louis and Miami in the wild card race. If the season ended today, there'd be a 3-way tie for that last wild card spot. I'm not entirely sure what the tiebreaker is there, and I'm not going to get too much into it because the season doesn't end today. So, to be honest, I don't care what the tiebreaker is. But yeah, those 3 teams tied for that last final wild card spot currently, and that's kind of crazy because 2 weeks ago I was like, I don't know how they're going to catch the Marlins. I don't like the Marlins didn't lose, like I think they lost 3 games in the month of June. And now here we are, the Nationals. I think the Marlins have lost 7 in a row, I think. And the Pirates are they're playing hot. The Cardinals seem to be scuffling a little bit too. So, yeah, they are officially in this wild card race, like squarely in it. You look at, the fan graphs, playoff odds, and the Pirates do currently have the 6th highest playoff odds in the National League.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting real. Like, they're right there. And we could talk about the bullpen and where they should be if they had just blown like half the saves they have. But even with those losses, like there's 6, but we played a game 100 yesterday. There's 62 games left. Like, there's plenty of time for them to right some wrongs, win some games, stack some wins, and you really control your own destiny. Because I mean, like the Marlins or Cardinals won't win every game going out, but yeah, you're right there. So, like I said, they're in a brutal stretch. But even going back to that Philly series that they split, they took 2 or 3 against the Nationals. They swept the Brewers, out of the first half, and then started off with Cleveland. Should have swept Cleveland, but they take 2 or 3. You'll take it. So, yeah, that speaking of the Cleveland series, Jim, I don't even know if you realize this being up there. The Pirates did not trail in any of those games.
Yeah, they kind of dominated the series.
Yeah, they dominated
Even
every
even the
inning
game
but
they
2.
lost. Yeah, I said even the game they lost, like that game, they they owned that game. They were winning.
Yep.
They had it they were fully in control the entire time until the 8th inning happened.
Yeah. And they didn't trail until that walk-off. Like that was
Yeah.
their first, they lost. So yeah, they really dominated the Guardians, and it's a shame. But like I said, even with these losses and the bullpen just throwing games away, they're still right there. Like you're in the hunt. And
Yeah.
yeah, the Marlins they tailed off. Of course, they played the Brewers, and the Brewers go right back to their winning ways after playing the Pirates. So Brewers keep winning. I know we've talked about it, like the Cardinals, will they fall off? Hopefully, but good Lord, they blew a big game yesterday. But yeah, it's nice to actually scoreboard watch. Like we're later in the season now, where it's like we're not like mid-May scoreboard watching. Like we're at the end of July here, getting towards there, and yeah, we're going to be. There's really only it's what Marlins, Cardinals, Diamondbacks are like the 3 that they're. But like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of it, because the Reds have really fallen back in the standings, and the Padres aren't doing too well. So yeah, there's a couple teams there. Hopefully the Cardinals fall off. You'll play them here coming up, but yeah, you're in it. You got 62 games left. Like go pick up some arms and let's do this thing.
Yeah, I mean there is a pretty clear path now to the postseason, and they're not entirely in control of their own destiny, but they're pretty close. Like they just at this point they just need to be better than a few other teams from this point forward, and they're in. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting stretch coming down here. And one of the things I wanted to talk about today, and I think what really separates this team, like we can talk about the offense, we can talk about how Brian Reynolds is having this outstanding season, Brandon Lowe, Nick Gonzalez overperforming kind of what everyone would have expected. I think this offense is a huge story this year. But one thing that I, just kind of getting ready for this show, and I was like, man, what are we going to talk about? One thing that is just completely different this year for me watching these games as opposed to, the last, 6 years, that we've been watching Ben Cherington era Pirates teams, is this team has like depth on the offensive side. And that depth isn't just like filling in and performing admirably. Like the depth is winning baseball games for this team at times. And that's just something that we didn't see. Like I was pulling up just old numbers here from like last year,
Oh
and
no.
like when right, I know. But like
Not good.
when the Pirates, like I'm not talking about like the everyday players, because obviously the everyday players, weren't good. But if you look at just the guys who they had to call up for a few weeks or months at a time, the role players, the people who, played sparingly, these teams had nobody. There was nobody really performing in those roles over the last few years. I mean, the probably the closest they got to like a the closest they ever got to something like that would have been probably 2024 Joshua Palacios, where he came up and he was just like this pinch hitting extraordinaire, But like
Yeah.
outside that, I mean, like these guys that they called upon sparingly in 2024, 2023, like, and the Alika Williamses of the world, the G1 Bays, the Edward Oliverises, even Nick Yorks back then, Billy Cook. Like, I know that those people contributed this year, and I'm going to talk about them, but they didn't have games where just some guy won them the game. And you're seeing that over and over and over again this year, where it's different people stepping up. It's not just the stars. It's the depth guys.
Yeah. like here in the Bucko Commish says Tyler Callihan and Billy Cook game. Like we've had a Tyler Callihan game. We had a Billy Cook game yesterday. And Billy Cook, I mean, he gets, I think that was his 10th start of the season. So like he doesn't get too many chances besides hoisting that cone in the dugout. But he 3 for 4 yesterday. Like I wrote in the takeaways last night, his WPA in that game was 0.34, which is like, I mean, some players don't even hit that for a season. Like Skeens was, I think, 0.26 in his performance yesterday. So Billy Cook was like that valuable to the game yesterday for the Pirates.
And that was just Cook's offensive WPA. Like that doesn't even count.
Oh, that's true. It doesn't even count the defense.
I mean, I think that double play that he turned, that sacrifice fly turned into a double play at home. I think that was like a plus 16% play too. So it's like,
there you go. So he was like basically like a half.
Yeah, like Billy Cook essentially single-handedly won this game yesterday. And yeah, I just don't remember those games happening before. No. Like there was never a game where it's like, oh, Jared Triolo just took over and won the Pirates this game, or Matt Gorski, who was called up and put into service, was took over and won a game for the Pirates. Like that just didn't happen. And
like
now
we were at that game, G1 Bay hit a walk-off home run, but like that was like it. Like that was the only thing G1 Bay did like that year.
Yeah, so it's and I went through and I was like, what are some games where like just these guys played such a huge role in? And I mean, there's quite a few here. Like, where would the Pirates be without Endy Rodriguez on June 29th had the 2 highest win probability added plays in that game, right? And Endy wasn't anybody we were expecting anything from this year. You mentioned the Tyler Callihan game, June 10th against the Dodgers. The Pirates don't win that game without Tyler Callihan, obviously. And then also the person who kind of, you don't really remember it, but the guy who like set up Callihan, the reason why Tyler Callahan's big homer there late in the game won the game is because Rafael Flores got on base for him. Like just little things like that. Nick York with a walk-off win on April 4th. Like I said, the Billy Cook game yesterday, just taking over. Esmerlyn Valdez has pretty much won 2 games by himself. July 11th against Milwaukee, July 2nd against the Phillies. And then July 18th, Friday night's game was essentially, Esmerlyn Valdez and Jacob Gonzalez. Like those 2 came up and won the game. And I don't know how much we can call Valdez like a role player anymore. I don't think I think he's shed that label. He is now squarely this team's starting right fielder, starting left. I mean, he's the starting cleanup hitter on this team.
I was gonna say he's not only starting, he's like the cleanup hitter now.
Yeah, like he's one of the more important hitters on this team. But it's impressive to see these guys where it's like I just listed off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people 6 people that we wouldn't have expected them to really contribute meaningfully this year. I mean, we were kind of hoping Valdez might come up at some point, but we weren't expecting this.
Well, right. And like literally the only person that has like, besides like Davis, Wendell and Jack Brannigan, who was here for like a hot minute, like the password, Garcia is the only one that's really come up and struggled because like you said, then we saw Valdez and Valdez took off but it's not just role players. Like we talked about these injuries. Cruz goes down, Horwitz goes down. You have Jake Mangum coming in.
Jake Mangum,
and like
count him
320. Yeah, Jake Mangum's in there. You got just everybody who's done it. I mean, pretty much everybody, even Azuna's been hitting better. It's just it's a remarkable turnaround from where we're used to seeing like this offense. And like you said, just the depth, guys that come up and struggle usually in other years. And it's everybody pretty much performing. And I don't know, like obviously they've acquired better hitters in the offseason. We've even guys, they make the trade here for Jacob Gonzalez, and he hit a home run and a double yesterday. Like he's already looking pretty good. So like they're acquiring these guys, they've acquired better guys, but like it's not just the guys they picked up too. It's like pretty much everybody, guys coming up in the minors. So I don't really know like where I know we kill Bill Murphy for the pitching, which justifiably so this year, but like Matt Haig, like no one really talks about Matt Haig right now. Like, are we giving him some credit? I guess you got to at this point. But they also did acquire better hitters. But yeah, it seems like something's working with this hitting.
Yeah, you got to give him a little credit here, right? I mean, last year, and DiNardo always points this out, but last year this team had 2 players that were above average on offense: Spencer Horwitz and Joey Bart. That was it. This year, just anybody who's taken it at bat. So we're going pretty small sample size here, but last year there were 2. This year there are 13. So again, you can only play 9 guys, right? 13 players have been above average offensively. And like you think, like look at these names that are littered through here, like Jake Mangum, Tyler Callihan. Like I said, Endy's in there. Jacob Gonzalez is in there now. Rafael Flores Jr. is in there. Esmerlyn Valdez. Like, yeah, you've got Reynolds, you've got Horwitz, you've got Cruz, you've got O'Hearn, you've got Lau. But it's like all these other guys are also playing better than any Pirate played last year. Like, that's it. 13 players that are above average hitters. That's incredible. I said the turnaround just from that depth piece of this, where you're not just relying on 1 or 2 or 3 people. You have like everyone on your major league roster. I mean, Billy Cook just proved it yesterday that like there isn't a player on this team that isn't capable of going out there and just winning you a baseball game at this point.
Jake Mangum, his OPS would have been second best on last year's team. Like Horwitz was the only one that hit last year. And like you said, it's everybody. And I like, when you have depth, you can, I like the way Don Kelly has been playing guys this year. And it's like, can we, because like Tyler Callihan, he'll start, you kind of know, like he's going to, when he faces like a middle of the road starting pitcher, like Tyler Callahan's might get a meatball or so and put it over the fence. So like, I feel like they're playing these guys in certain spots. They're, like I said, you could play pretty much not everybody. It's not like you're not going to see Billy Cook every day play, but they're putting these guys in at different spots and it's working. And that's the other thing too. Like, can we get over the whole, like when the lineup comes out, everybody just throws a fit on Twitter, because it's like, throw that out the window this year. Like this lineup, no matter who it seems to be, like we just talked about, like it's, they come through and it's like, as soon as I see people start complaining about the lineup and it's like, oh, what are they doing? They got Billy Cook in here. Then we score 7 runs. And it's just like, it's really like they can't do any wrong, but yeah, they're getting these guys playing time. And I guess they're, even the guys on the bench, keeping them fresh, keeping them in there, seeing some at bats. Cook comes in as a late game defensive replacement, which is a good spot for him. But yeah, he gets a start every once in a while and then comes through with the game like yesterday. So it's just the whole lineup thing. It cracks me up because it's like, dude, everybody's hitting besides like, the course of the season, and Azuna's been better, but like pretty much like besides Triolo and even Henry Davis has been better. Everybody else is an above average hitter. It's like, it's nuts.
I'm with you on the lineup thing. It's gotten to be pretty funny at this point. And I even mentioned it again yesterday before the game. I was like, everybody's complaining about this lineup. It's like, watch them put up 7 or 8 runs. Like they're going to do that because that's just what they do. I feel like, every time people start complaining about the lineup, they perform. So I think we just need to stop complaining. Like, just
never
stop complaining, or maybe keep complaining because it's obviously it's working. So
it's working is right.
Yeah.
It's
impressive.
It's a complete, it's impressive, but then it's also just it's a complete switch from these past years. And whether you say the last 2 years, 5 years, 10, whatever, like they just haven't been good offensively. And I talked about it before when a starter gives up a couple runs and you're like, oh, the lineup's just going to go down in order. We're going to lose this game 6-0. It was hard to get out of that mindset because that's what it was for 5+ years. Like, it's just, this lineup, they were just overmatched, and they're not overmatched anymore. And it is hard getting out of that mindset. And somebody said here in the comments, like, if you would have told me spring training that like the offense was going to be where it's at, and it's pretty much carried the team and been second in baseball in runs and tied for first with the national. Like, I would have never, like, that would have been insane. And it's
It
just
would
been
have
a great,
it would have been, yeah, it would have been like you're a crazy person, obviously.
yeah. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not, you're nuts. Yeah. And it's been an unbelievable turnaround, and it's just, it's fun to watch. And it's just, yeah. And then of course, the starting rotation hasn't been bad, obviously, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's just the bullpen. The bullpen.
It's the
You gotta make it
bullpen.
better.
Yeah.
Sucks, but
It's yeah, I don't wanna get too much into the bullpen today because I feel like we
uh,
talk about it a lot.
we
So I
do.
was like, let's kinda mix things up a little bit. But goodness gracious, they do need to do something there because I don't know how many games it is now. I think it's 8. I wanna say it's 8 games where the Pirates have had an 88% win probability or higher at some point, and they've
Yeah.
lost the game. And you just can't have that many losses that you throw away. Like, you're going to lose some of those games sometimes. There's a reason why the win probability isn't 100, right? Because sometimes you lose those games. But to lose 8 of them over the course of just through July, we're not even done with July yet, is pretty incredible. This team still has more blown saves than they have saves at this point. They need to get way better
Yep.
quickly because again, like they're still somehow in this thing,
That's what I mean.
even how bad it is,
They're
right?
they're in it despite the bullpen. Like, that's pretty much like they've that's how talented this team has been.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
they'd be, they said you win 5 of those, not 8 games or whatever you just said, or 4 of them. You're what, 8 games over, 9 games over, and you're right there. Like, look at this, the Yankee series coming up that we're gonna talk about. They're only 3 wins behind the Yankees in the standings. Now, the Yankees have been, not as good, but they're a game and a half out of first in the AL East, which is usually a very good division. So, like, yeah, you're not far off, and it's like, where could this team be if they hadn't, had blown all those games? Um, but yeah, getting back to the offense too, like, all these the injuries that they've had, like, we haven't even mentioned Konnor Griffin. Like, a team losing Konnor Griffin that's going for a wild card space would be a huge blow. And of course, yes, we missed the defense. I think that's squarely number one, but we haven't missed his offense. Like, and he was turning it on and he was doing everything. And, he had a little bit of power. He was getting on base. He was stealing bases. And yeah, we're not, like, we haven't even mentioned him because it's just like, this offense keeps scoring. And the other thing I wanted to touch on too about this offense is you see people like, well, oh, when Cruz comes back and Horwitz comes back, and how are you going to play all these guys? And it's like, that's the best problem you could
yeah,
possibly have.
yeah.
And, like,
It
I think
it
Don
really is.
Kelly's done a good job to date just playing, getting everybody at bats, and, you have like you have a bunch of first basemen and, like, guys that are sort of playing out of position, but that was kind of what they signed up for in the offseason. Like, they said, we're just gonna get some guys that can hit, and we'll find a place to play them, and they've used the DH position better. Like, Azuna's been sitting more,
Mhm.
and it might have helped him because he's been better at the plate too doing that. But yeah, like,
Yeah.
that's a good problem to have. Like, I'm confident that they'll be able to work through it. And no, don't just trade Cruz at the deadline for a reliever. Like, that's, no, you don't do that when you're buying. So yeah, I have confidence that they'll be able to fit these guys in and play them.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Like he is doing I feel like he's doing a pretty good job with everybody. Like Marcell Ozuna is clearly not playing as much as he'd like to right now, but it's working. Like and
Yes.
when the Pirates aren't playing Marcell Ozuna, they tend to win the games. When they play Ozuna, they lose. And like not all of that is Ozuna's fault. He has been playing better as of late, but it is weird that there's just better. I mean, there's just better hitters than Marcell Ozuna right now. So when you're not playing him, you're able to squeeze in like one more hitter who's outperforming him, and sometimes that's the difference maker. And again, Billy Cook is someone who's obviously not playing a whole lot. And when he had been playing up to this point, like he wasn't really doing anything offensively. But to see him do that yesterday was really, really, really cool. Because obviously, he's valuable to this team. Like Billy Cook is a guy that like good teams often have on their team. Like that person who can come in, he can pinch run for you, he can play good defense in the outfield anywhere. You're not really ever going to put him up to the plate in a big situation, but like he has his role on the team. And when you have a true DH like the Pirates do, you don't necessarily need all that position flexibility sometimes because, it's for the most part, everybody's just playing every day, which is another big thing that this Pirates team has opposed to other Pirates teams is before you were constantly shuffling people around, playing so-and-so in a position, someone else in a different position, batting them second and batting them seventh. Like there's just there's a lot of continuity here. Like you know what your lineup is going to look like for the most part every day with maybe one or two differences. But yeah, it's been impressive. Like I said, impressive is the word because it's not anything I would have foreseen coming into this year. And it's just really neat to see everyone step up and everyone contribute. It's everyone. It's just everyone across the board, and it's really cool to see.
It's the next man up mentality, like me being on here for DiNardo.
Exactly.
We've used June 1st a lot. I know DiNardo's used it, I think, on last week's show, like just the offensive numbers since June 1st. But like I've talked about it, we talked about it overall, like pretty much everybody but Triolo, Ozuna, and Henry Davis is above average. Since June 1st, even Triolo, he has a 94 WRC plus. Billy Cook has a 90, and Brandon Lowe is your worst hitter since June 1st, 85. And everybody else, I mean, Ozuna's had a 111 WRC plus since June 1st. Jake Mangum 119. Endy Rodriguez 135. Nick Gonzalez 136. And then Esmerlyn Valdez 209. I mean, even Flores 214. Like everybody is hitting the cover off the ball pretty much all year. But like even since June 1st, they've been really, really good. And
that's a big date to remember because that's right when Konnor Griffin hit the IL. And that was like a week before Oneil Cruz hit the IL. So like those are two key pieces that you lost, and everyone's just stepped up since then.
Stepped up in a big way. I mean, that's one way to say it. And again, we're not used to it. We are not used to it as recent Pirate fans here because the offense has been so bad. And even in the years, even through 13 through 15, the offense was good. It wasn't like this. And, they obviously had really good pitching and the bullpen was shut down. I missed that bullpen. But yeah, like this offense wasn't that. Like we had Andrew McCutchen and, Pedro could hit a bunch of home runs, but like this is just like top to the bottom. And then it's the depth. The depth's the key right now. And it's next man up because look, injuries are going to happen. And that's the other thing too. Like where are these guys going to play when everyone's healthy? Well, somebody else might go down. Like injuries are going to happen. That's why you just don't go around trading. Let's trade Brandon Lowe. Let's trade Oneil Cruz. Like no. Like I think I'm going to write about this too in the NS9 report today. We're squarely buyers at this point. Like you swept the Brewers. Yeah. You come out of the second half. You're thinking, maybe they'll cool off. You probably should have swept the Guardians. You still took the series. Like you're in the hunt. You're right there in that wild card tie. So they're buyers at this point. I think that's squarely. And Ben making the move for Isert and Jacob Gonzalez, I think kind of played his hand a little bit. Like they're buying at this deadline. And
they are.
Yeah. So
I mean, they kind of have to at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
I honestly
no
last night
yeah.
when I looked at my phone late last night and I saw because I have like our group chat's muted, I'll be honest. But like I saw you tagged me and it just said, Ryan, you available? And I'm thinking, oh God, like I thought a trade happened. I was like, Ben made one of his midnight deals where we got Mason Miller. We're gonna have to go live. And then you're like, oh, are you available for the morning? I was like, oh, okay. But like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a trade comes this week. It's July 20th now, Jim. So like we only got 2 weeks to the trade deadline. So I think trades can happen at any point here. Like meaningful trades, not just like, hey, we picked up Jacob Gonzalez and somebody else from a first place White Sox team. But so yeah, we'll see. But yeah, this offense is don't trade from them. Just you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out as we go.
I agree. And I do want to talk about some of these trade things, a little bit this show. I know we talked about it a lot on Thursday night's NS9 Live, but I do want to get into some things there. But before we do, Tyler, let me tell the people here about the
Not
Fair
Tyler.
Coffee. Oh, Ryan. Sorry. I gotta read it. I never read this ad, so I've
I
got to get
know.
in my DeFair ad space here. But yeah, let me tell you about DeFair Coffee and Tea. They're the sponsor of today's show. DeFair is a family and employee owned and operated business. They believe coffee and tea are one of life's simplest and most accessible pleasures, and when enjoyed thoughtfully, can open your eyes to the here and now. They have 5 locations across the city of Pittsburgh, including the flagship in the heart of Pittsburgh's historic Strip District. Don't forget to stop by DeFair's new location downtown on Penn Avenue, right across from the Benedum. Grab a cup and fuel up on your walk to PNC Park. Mobile ordering is available, so check out their Instagram for more details. And Ryan, if they go to defair.coffee and load up their cart, use promo code NS930, they'll save 30% off on their first order. So make sure you hit up DeFair the next time you're in the Strip, or again, any of their locations across Pittsburgh.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, they deliver it. They can deliver it right to your door, even if you live in Jacksonville, even though Donardo's not currently in Jacksonville, but
They can deliver it right to your door. Yep.
it's nice.
And
Nice.
I'm gonna take this time too. I want to say so. One of my buddies was in town. We just went to Cleveland. We went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which was first time I'd ever been there. It was really really neat. But I had my buddy, my old college roommate, visited Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago, and they were like, "What should we do? What should we do?" And I was like, "Well, first go to the fair, go to the Strip District,
Yep.
go to the fair." And then I told him, "Hey, then just kind of keep going down the street a little bit more. Roberto Clemente Museum. I don't know if you've ever
Yes.
been to the Clemente Museum over there, Ryan,
Yes.
but it's also really, really cool. So I just want to shout out the Clemente Museum, friend of the show, Tim. I'd let him know that my friend and his kid and they were coming, and yeah, awesome time at the Clemente Museum. So I just want to give him a shout out. Zoe, CJ, Tim, everybody over there. You all rock. And yeah, if you're in Pittsburgh, you've got like a gem of a museum right there.
Mhm.
And if you're visiting, just make sure you hit that place up. It's awesome.
You have a chance that you could run into Paul Skeens. Didn't him and Livy show up there the one
Yeah.
day? And
There
he
you
signed
go.
a couple. I think he signed a couple balls or something for the museum. And but yeah, that was cool. But yeah, it's a
Yeah.
great place. So wait, your college roommate comes to Pittsburgh and you weren't in town?
I wasn't. He was like, "Hey, I'm coming into Pittsburgh." It was his kid and like a bunch of other kids from their little league baseball team. So it
Mm,
was like a father son trip for 4
nice.
people. And he was like, "What should I do? What should I do?" And I was like, "Well, go to the Strip, go to the fair, and then talk about the Clemente Museum." And they went to some Pirates games. So yeah, they had a really good time in
That's a
Pittsburgh.
good weekend.
They had a better time in Pittsburgh, I think, than we had in Cleveland.
I could see that.
We had to
Yeah, you're
deal
like,
with just insane smoke inhalation the entire time. Again, the food situation in Cleveland wasn't outstanding. But hey, you know what? They won 2 out of 3. And they won 2 out of 3. I at least got home on time, and I got there on time, unlike Donardo. So that was a positive. But
yeah, Cleveland. I
yeah,
mean,
it
I
was
lived up in the west side
yeah,
of
you
Cleveland
lived there for a bit.
for like
Yeah,
3-4 years, and
yeah.
Cleveland gets a bad rap because we're from Pittsburgh. It's not overall that bad. Be honest. I mean, I went to a couple games, but I didn't really like hang out right around the stadium. But there's some good stuff. But yeah, like I remember going to a road game in Detroit too. It was an afternoon Pirates Tigers game, and I remember like the game ended. It was like 4 o'clock on like a weekday, and like you're like, oh, we'll go over like check out Hockey Town, whatever. And then like most of the stuff around it just closed, and it was like, what are we doing here? Like you have a baseball
Yeah.
team, they just played a game, and I know you mentioned about how Cleveland like banned, or at least the Guardians, like there's no tailgating. Like that's
There was like no
bonkers.
tailgating anywhere. Yeah. I didn't see a tailgater anywhere.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering because I was wondering if that was actually true, like, or if it was just something you guys read that wasn't accurate. But I mean, could you imagine like the north side on a Saturday in the summer, like before a Pirate game, and no one's tailgating?
Absolutely not.
Like like foreign to me. Like it's just, yeah, like you tailgate underneath the overpass or, over there, but all the lots that we've been in. And it's like, yeah, that's crazy. So, but gladly, at least you guys got to see baseball because it didn't look like we kind of figured Friday's game wasn't going to happen because of the smoke. And then Saturday, it was looking like pretty severe, storms. So, but they got them in. You got to see some games in a winning series.
Yep. Also got to see. I mean, one thing I was not expecting to see this weekend was Christian Curtis's debut.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool because if you don't know, we've had Christian Curtis on the show. He was the first Bucks on Deck episode this year that Murphy and I did, and he joined us for that, for a few minutes, kind of talk about his upcoming season. And yeah, I mean, he started the year in Altoona, got promoted to Indianapolis really quickly, and yeah, the team was in a pinch. They needed somebody to throw some innings on Saturday, and he stepped up big time because like that second game, it could have gone a few different ways. Like they ended up losing the game, but like Curtis got them to the seventh inning. So
yeah.
he did his job, and it was really cool to see his debut because like I said, his story, if you're not familiar with it, make sure you kind of check it out. Bucks on Deck has, a feature on their front page right now from like kind of what they did from 2024 on covering Christian Curtis. And I mean, he had an elbow surgery years ago that the doctor botched, and like messed up one of his nerves in his elbow. And like, they weren't sure if this guy was ever going to be able to play baseball again. And this was, let's see, in 2022, somewhere in that area. This was while he was at Texas A&M. So the 2020, 2021. But yeah, just an incredible story being able to like rebound from that. Like that's just a freak thing that happens to you. And yeah, it was really cool to see Christian Curtis make his debut on Saturday because yeah, well deserved debut.
Should have got the win. He should have got the win.
Should have got the win.
He deserved it. But no, it was good to see. Like we talked about all these guys coming up, even for the hitting, but pitching hasn't been exactly the same this year. But good to see Christian Curtis, like Wilbert Otel, when he came up, was really good until he got injured. So yeah, and Curtis goes back to AAA. Obviously they want him to start games, but yeah, it was good to see him, and he stepped up big time for them, and it's kind of been the theme here. Like a lot of guys have come up mostly hitting size, but I had the hitting side of things. But yeah, it's been good to watch. So
yeah,
good.
Before we get into the Yankee series, Ryan, I do want to bring up just this quote from Bob Nightingale, your boy, Bob Nightingale. I know you're a big fan of him.
What error did he make in the tweet?
Yesterday at USA Today, he said the Pirates, who entered the break having scored an MLB leading 516 runs, plan to be aggressive at the deadline, yet only if they can acquire pieces without increasing payroll. And so I think this got a lot of people talking yesterday where, well, that means that they're going to trade Ozuna. You trade Ozuna and then you're fine, right? Or you trade Keller and you're fine. It's like, well, I think it's going to be a lot more difficult to do that than we anticipate. Like this isn't MLB The Show where you can just trade. Right. You can put Marcell Ozuna on the trading block and say, okay, who wants Marcell Ozuna, right? Nobody's going to raise their hand in real life. I don't think anybody's raising their hand for an aging DH only right-handed bat who isn't really hitting like a DH should and getting paid more money than he's worth. So this quote, though, I'm not saying it caught me off guard because, I mean, it's the Pirates, right? We all know how they operate. And I don't know if this is like sourced or if this is just Bob making from things up, Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. If the Pirates aren't able to add pieces at this deadline because of payroll reasons, like that's inexcusable. Absolutely inexcusable that they wouldn't be able to do this. You got rid of Joey Bart. That saved you like $1.5 million the rest of this year. You traded the 34th pick, which you would have been given $3 million to anyways, had you used it. Like there should be money here to use to up payroll by a few $1,000,000 if you have to do that. And at the same time, like, you went into this season saying the goal is playoffs, period, full stop. You can't tell me, oh, you know what? We weren't able to make that playoff push because the guy we wanted was owed a little bit more money. So again, I know this is just straight up a quote from Bob Nightingale,
Yeah,
not Bob.
and
This isn't a
I
Bob
just want to,
Nutting quote. Yeah, this isn't a
yeah, I
Bob
was gonna say,
Nutting
I wanted to
quote.
clarify because
But
Yellow Beard wasn't sure.
this is a USA Today reporter saying the Pirates are expected to be aggressive, but only if they don't add payroll. And
Yeah.
yeah, I it scares me, right? Because we all know how the Pirates operate, but I can't fathom that that's even in play right now. Like, if you need a couple extra $1,000,000 at the deadline to put this team over the edge, I can't imagine that not being something they can do.
Yeah. Again, it's Bob Nightingale. Yes, he's a national reporter or whatever call him this, whatever you want to call him. But he's sometimes out in left field, no pun intended. But the tweet just doesn't make sense to me because, okay, yes, the payroll thing does make sense to me. But then how can you be aggressive but not add payroll? Like, even if you go get Luke Weaver, like Luke Weaver's making like 9-10 million bucks this year. And
Yeah.
I get it. Like, there's going to be prorated because it's halfway through the season, but like, you're still going to add payroll. Like, there's something. So whether, and even if you DFA Ozuna, like, you still owe him that money. So unless you get creative with some of these deals and try to package one of them, but like you said, it's not MLB The Show. Like, who wants to take back Marcell Ozuna, really? But yeah, you can't really be aggressive and not add payroll. Like, you can be aggressive with your prospects, and we've talked about that a lot, about trading guys and using that minor league prospect depth. But your payroll is going to add. And I'm just saying, like, maybe you don't get somebody that's making 15-17 million a year, but yeah, even Luke Weaver and some of these guys are making, a decent amount. So it just doesn't make sense to me. The other thing too, like, people are like, oh, Ben's going to be aggressive and he's going to just mortgage the farm to get, Mason Miller or get even a rental or something. And it's like Seth Hernandez, like, do we really think Mr. Conservative Ben Sherrington is going to go out and like trade Seth Hernandez for like a bullpen piece? Like, maybe Mason Miller, but again, who knows? I don't even think that's just not. I don't think that's happening. But
No,
like,
it's not.
If I have confidence,
Seth is not going anywhere.
Well, right. But I have confidence if I have confidence in Ben with anything, it would be that he's not going to mortgage the farm and just panic and go crazy at the deadline, because that's just not who he is. He's, always reserved and Mr. Conservative, and yeah, they'll try to make the team better. But that's why and like you said, if it's payroll that is going to hold them back, then this may be a really deflating deadline for the Pirates, because and it's going to suck, because you need to add some legit back at the end arms. And if they don't do it and they just go and get like we pick up like another Brandon Isert type or whatever, that's just like, the other team doesn't really need him, or he's got okay numbers, it's not going to be good enough. So that's the worry there. But yeah, it was a weird tweet. Weird. And again, he didn't say like it was from a source, or like you said, it could have just been some rumblings he heard from a scout or something, it could. But again, like a lot of these people, it's the Pirates, so they just assume, oh, they're not going to add payroll. One thing we haven't seen, though, that we usually hear from Nutting like around this time, and maybe even like, I don't know, All-Star break or even before that. But remember, like, in recent years, or even back in 2016, 17, like, he's talked about, oh, they have the resources at the deadline to like go and do something. We haven't really heard that quote yet. Yeah. So we really haven't heard that yet from him. And I don't know if he's just been like off traveling and just hasn't been around to talk to the media. But I feel like Nutting was very visible this season early on, but we haven't really heard too much from him recently. So yeah, we haven't gotten that quote, but I mean, there's got to be some room to be able to, because the Pirates always usually leave, because we talked about it. Like, we needed a third baseman. Like, we probably needed a starter. Like, you could have went and got Patrick Corbin in spring. They didn't do it. And you're thinking, were they out of payroll, or were they leaving some for the deadline? So hopefully they left some room in there. It's probably not much. And yeah, would I love to find a trade that you could just dump Mitch Keller and save, 10 million or whatever, 15 million? Like, sure. But like, how realistic is that?
I don't think it's very realistic. So yeah, I'll be curious to see how they go. I think at this point, just with all the crazy trade talk that this fan base has had up to this point, if they don't get Mason Miller or Luke Weaver, like I think people are going to be really upset. Like there's
Yes.
just been so much hype around those two guys and Mason Miller, in particular. Like I don't think I don't even know if Mason Miller's in play, and if he is,
Right.
he's going to cost a lot. I don't
Right.
know. I don't know how that's going to go. I would not bank on getting Mason Miller right now.
No.
But like I think you got to set your targets on someone high. You got to set your targets on someone who's like actually going to impact games for you in that back end. I think they're fine with if they add like one of those guys and then like two other just like good relievers, not the Brandon Isert types, right? But like someone that you can count on, to actually pitch a seventh or an eighth inning.
You need somebody with like a sub-3 ERA in that bullpen.
Yeah,
Like
they're
absolutely.
gonna need some good relievers here, and yeah, like Brandon Isert, like that they can't add any more of those guys. They've got to
No.
add guys who are actually gonna help you.
Hunter Stratton. It's like no.
Yeah, no more of that. Nate Pearson was just DFA'd by the Astros. I don't know if you take a flyer at him. I mean, if you're Ben, he's probably Nate Pearson is most likely washed, and he's been he
Right.
he was a top prospect, 7 years ago. Just never really panned out. The stuff is pretty good, but he's just never really been able to get MLB hitters out. So,
Yeah.
but at the same point, he's probably better than Dennis Santana right now. So like I'm down for trying anything. So I'd be on the lookout for something with Nate Pearson. I could see that happening because that's also a Toronto guy. Ben, it's a Ben guy.
Yeah, was Ben there when he was drafted or whatever? Because then,
He was.
yeah, then
Ben was there. Yeah.
oh well, it's happening now. But like you're right. Like I'm okay. Like they've done that with guys like Stratton and but like you can go and do that and like try to hit on one of these. But like yeah, you need to go out and get much better arms. Proven, serious, legit back of the end arms, and that's what they need. And yeah, like Mason Miller. Look, and like people would say, like, I wouldn't trade Seth Hernandez. I wouldn't either. But I don't think it's that absurd of a trade. Like, there's a chance.
It's probably fair value, right? I'm
Like,
not saying it's not fair value. Yeah,
there's a chance Mason Miller and I'm not saying he's going to finish his career with the Pirates if they got him, but like, there's a chance he's a Hall of Fame reliever, and like, he's still young and he's still very good. So like, I don't think it's absurd to say like, oh my God, you would never. I don't think it's like you said. It's maybe fair value depending on what else you throw in there, but that's probably I wouldn't do. I just wouldn't move Seth Hernandez. That's all. But you have
prospects like that don't get traded unless you're the Padres.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have other guys, you have a very good minor league system right now that, as well as anybody with Bucks on deck. Like they got guys that they can trade that would be able to pull in, maybe not a Mason Miller, but pretty good relief arms, or at least should. And, Greg Brown was on the broadcast yesterday, like, oh, these guys are not, I think he was on the radio. He was saying, oh, it's going to be a real, these teams are really going to have to pay up for relief arms, this deadline. And it's like, yeah, but like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's being overrated or overblown a little bit. So like, we'll see what team, I mean, at the end of the day, it's the market. We'll see what these teams end up doing if they bite and end up trading a lot of people. So.
Yeah, and a lot can change just in the next week, right? Like you got 2 weeks still until the trading deadline. It's later this year than normal. You can see some teams like I feel like right now people are saying it's a seller's market because there aren't a lot of sellers, but that could change.
Right.
Like next week there could be more sellers. Like if the Padres lose 5 games this week, they're squarely in the sellers category. If there are a lot of teams that are kind of teetering right on the edge there, so things could look a lot different in 2 weeks as opposed to right now. So,
yep.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Again, we've got 2 weeks, and I would love for them to not wait 2 weeks Like, go out there and identify some sellers right now and add to this team as soon as possible. But
Like
you're
the
probably going to
Mets
see
are.
some things open up. Yeah,
That's the thing. Like
the
the
Mets.
Mets are 100% selling. Like you got to be talking to them.
You got to be
And
talking
then
to them.
they got more, not just Luke Weaver. Like they got a couple of relievers over there that you take. The Red Sox have gone on a tear and are back in it. So like Chapman's probably not available. Garrett Whitlock's probably not available. But yeah, you have the farm to get some guys, but it's just, the payroll thing is the one thing you probably don't really have much of. And we'll see. I mean, cause that might, if that dictates the trade deadline and what they can do, that could really be deflating.
I agree. Let's do this. Let's kick it over to Cody real quick, and then when we get back, let's wrap things up with this New York series coming up this week.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack hydration sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fuel you need to win your day. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is a great way for you to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 9 IQ bars, 8 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. All IQ Bar products are clean label certified and entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their lifestyles with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. The Ultimate Sampler Pack includes all 3. My personal favorites so far have been the almond butter chip and the iced tea lemonade hydration mix. It's just really full of flavor. I love starting my day with it, and I couldn't imagine starting my day with anything else other than IQ Bar products. Right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text MLB to 64,000. That's MLB 64000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
All right, Ryan. So Pirates head to the Bronx to face the 55-44 New York Yankees this week. First game is tonight. 3-game set. Ryan Weathers on the mound for the Yankees, and just a guy who, top prospect, lefty, power arm. He's just always been injured. But he's kind of putting it all together this year. He's been healthy. He's made 18 starts. He's got a 4.15 ERA, striking out, over 10 batters per 9 innings, putting together his best season as a pro at age 26. So if there is one game here that I'm kind of worried about, it's this one, because, the Pirates just have not had a ton of success against left-handed pitchers. And Weathers is someone who not only is he left-handed, but he's like a strikeout guy. So I could see Weathers kind of like rolling through this lineup a little bit. On the flip side, the Yankees, their bullpen, the back end of it is pretty good. But if you can get to that like middle relief part of the New York Yankees bullpen, there's not a lot there. There's just some guys, that are going to man the 5th, 6th, and 7th inning. So I think that's the key to this game is see if you can get Ryan Weathers out a little bit earlier than like 6 or 7 innings. Because if you hand the ball over to like Fernando Cruz or David Bednar, then maybe you're in a little bit of trouble. But if you can get to this middle relief in the Yankees, I think you can steal a game here. Now the Pirates have Ashcraft going, so that's a good sign. Maybe we're looking at just like a 2-1 win if we can get it, but they're gonna need Ashcraft to step up tonight, I think, and they're gonna have to see what they can. They want to see. We need to see if we can knock Weathers out a little early. I think that's the name of the plan tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned their bullpen. Like we have to get to the Jake Birds of the world. Tim Hill. Tim Hill's strikeout per 9s, Jim, 4.3. He strikes out 4 hitters every 9 innings. Those are the guys you want to see in this bullpen. We missed Cam Schlitter. He pitched yesterday. Obviously, the Yankees They
Yeah.
miss Paul Skeens too, so it's like it's kind of
Mhm.
it evens out there. But yeah, Ryan Weathers, lefty, like you mentioned, having a good year. I say we light him up tonight, but
Let's do it. Yeah, I think we should.
let's do it. But yeah, a couple old faces. David Bednar, as you mentioned, closer, and then I'm looking forward to Wednesday's game. Mitch Keller versus Garrett Cole, our old pal Garrett
know.
Cole.
That should be
So
a fun one. I mean, Mitch Keller obviously has been scuffling. Hopefully, this like long layoff does Mitch Keller a little bit of good. I mean, he's going to
Yeah.
basically be like a week and a half, between starts, and yeah, they're going to need Mitch Keller down the stretch here because otherwise, you got to start looking for a Mitch Keller replacement at the
Yep.
deadline. Like
Yeah.
we haven't really gone too deep into that, but this Pirates team, you feel pretty comfortable with Ashcraft, Skeens, Chandler, Jones right now. Keller's the weakest link in this rotation currently, and it sucks to say that, but it's true. And they, he needs to start pitching better, just plain and simple. Like it's been a bad season for Mitch Keller. He had a good April and then just fell off a cliff.
I know, and it's disappointing because I love Mitch, and
Yeah.
he's been so steady for us for years and been an innings eater and always, quality start Mitch. And I'd love to see quality start Mitch right now, but this is going to be a tough. I mean, him in Yankee Stadium, the way he's been pitching this year, doesn't sit too well with me. I think this next two starts for him is going to be huge because if he goes in and rights the ship and maybe throws a quality start together or two. Maybe you can rely on him in the second half, but if he goes out Wednesday and then struggles in the next start, like a starting pitcher may have to just be as high as priority as your bullpen at the deadline. So I really think these next two starts are big for him. So not really looking forward to him in Yankee Stadium, but I am looking forward to seeing the Pirates bats in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
We know,
short porch. Yeah.
Ben Rice and Wells and Goldschmidt, we know that they'll hit some home runs. But the Pirates have been hitting some home runs. So, I mean, I want to see the magician in Yankee Stadium against the Pinstripes. I'm excited to see that.
You know who else you mentioned was the worst hitter on the team since June 1st?
Brandon Lowe.
I feel like this series is built. This is going to be the Brandon Lowe series. We need a breakout Brandon Lowe series.
I like it. I like that. And you mentioned tonight's pitching matchup: Brian Weathers, Braxton Ashcraft. The Pirates on FanDuel plus 100. So it's pretty much a pick 'em. The Yankees are a slight favorite, minus 118. They're facing a lefty, and what we know from the NS9 interview, what's Valdez like?
Valdez does love lefties.
He does. And you're in Yankee Stadium, so he's plus 285 to homer tonight. There you go.
Those aren't great odds.
Literally, as I said that, it went to 280. So it's already going down. But hey, him to homer twice is 20 plus 2,200. So there you go.
There we go. Let's just hit two of them, Valdez. That's what we might need that tonight. But no, as I said, overall, I'm interested to see Garrett Cole too. Garrett Cole's one of my favorite Pirates that during my lifetime. So yeah, Garrett Cole versus Mitch Keller. That seems like a fun one. Will Warren getting the start in game 2. I'm not really too concerned about either of those guys. This team, I think, has just shown time and time again it can hit right-handed pitchers. So
they'll probably score 3 or 4 runs off them. That's within the realm of possibility for sure.
So let's just go out there, but take 2 out of 3, head home. With a 4-2 road trip. I think that's the name of the game here. If you can win tonight's game, then I think that sets you up really, really well for the rest of the series. Obviously, lots of lefties in the Yankees lineup, so that kind of has been Mitch's kryptonite this year, is he hasn't really been able to get lefties out. So he will have to face a lineup of 7 left-handed hitters when he goes out there on Wednesday. So
in Yankee Stadium.
So yeah, Mitch Keller versus lefties. We'll see how that goes. But David Bednar, you mentioned him earlier.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have him on our team right now, wouldn't it?
Oh God, yes.
2.59.
Is he back? Yeah, he's back because I know he started off. He was struggling in the beginning of the year, but he's really come on.
He's been really good lately. He did have a rough April, but yeah, really since then has just been pretty good.
Yeah, striking out 10.2 per 9, not walking many. His FIP's at 2.55.
He hasn't
18
given up
saves.
a run since May.
Oh, great. Yeah. He's been really good. We couldn't use that in our bullpen.
He hasn't
I mean,
given
you
up a
just-
run since May 18th.
You
It's
just
been
look
2
back
months.
to that trade, and it's like I get the money thing with it, but then you went out and signed Soto. And it's like you should have just kept Bednar. This team, Dippy Golf Series says this team with Bednar has 10 more saves. We could be like 9 over, 10 over if Bednar was on this team.
Yeah, I think 10 might be pushing it, but I think this team with David Bednar probably has 4 more wins.
Yeah, you'd think
at least. And what's crazy is you just kind of do the math there. If you have 4 more wins, you are 56 and 44. You're I mean, at this point, you're just cruising.
Yeah,
you're on cruise control at that point. Like,
yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's I'm looking forward to this series. It's a big test for them. And like I said, this isn't the 27 Yankees. It's not even the 2000 Yankees. They're still pretty good. Like they're still going to hit their home runs. And
they're still good.
They got a ton of injuries in their rotation, but they still got some good pitchers. So, and Cole, he came back off the injury. He's settled in. Like he's got a mid-3 ERA. He's striking out. He's not walking many. What's his he's at 9 strikeouts per 9 exactly. So yeah, Cole's settled in. I think it'll be interesting to face him, but yeah, it's always fun, the pinstripes in Yankee Stadium. So it'll be fun to see what they do with them because the Yankees are in a battle for their division right now.
Yeah. Ben Rice though, with Aaron Judge out, this lineup, it's like Ben Rice is the only guy who scares you at this point. Like Trent Grisham, I feel like is a Pirate killer from his Brewers days. Cody Bellinger's having a solid season, but it's not like, Bellinger's not the guy he used to be. But yeah, overall, like this lineup that the Yankees have, like it's solid. It's solid. It's not as good as the Pirates lineup though. I mean, like top to bottom, the Pirates lineup is better than this. So yeah, go out there and see if you can shut these guys down. Like I said, win 2 out of 3, feel really good. I want to also quick shout out to there's a couple NS9 MVPs who are going to this game.
Nice.
I think from
Cody will be there too, right?
Cody will be there. But I think what else is kind of neat is let me see if I can find them here.
God, this team still has Ryan McMahon. He's like their starting. He's their starting third baseman. My God.
Yeah. But no, in terms of NS9 listeners, I know there's some people heading over to the game. There's a couple people. Jamie's one of them. From the United Kingdom, him and his brother. His brother's a Yankees fan. Jamie is a Pirates fan. They flew to America for this series, so they're in New York. They're going to be going there.
That's awesome.
And then I'm trying to find another person who I know is also coming over here. One of our listeners from Israel is coming over for this series. So we've got some international NS9 listeners who are going to be in attendance at Yankee Stadium. So
the World Cup may be over, but our MVPs are coming overseas to see the Buccos in New York. I love it.
Yes.
But even Jazz Chisholm, who I feel like we had Jazz Chisholm because we talked about him so much in that trade deadline. He's been pretty good for the Yankees too. So he'll be there as well.
Yeah. Asaf is his name. He's coming over. from Israel. So, yeah, I said it's going to be. Hopefully, it's a fun series. Hopefully, if you're traveling to New York, you guys have a good time. Yeah, Cody will be there at least the first 2 games, I think. So
look for
he's gonna
Cody.
try to do the post game shows from Yankee Stadium. So that'll be fun.
That's pretty
And
cool.
yeah, let's kick off this week with a bang.
Hey, they've played well recently against good teams, so I don't like used to go into these series or a series with the Dodgers, and you're just like, oh god, like how are they going to win one? I don't like feel that way, and I know you're going to make your prediction like, they'll win 2 or 3, but I just don't feel like that doom. Like, oh boy, we're playing the Yankees on the road. Like I feel like we'll be in most of the games, and unless Mitch just goes out on Wednesday and throws up a stinker, but I think they'll be in pretty much every game.
The other thing too is this team is dominating the American League.
Yes.
They've won 5 straight series against the American League this year.
I think
like they're
like
just
13-6 against them overall.
They're killing. They're crushing them. The American League is so bad.
No, 18-9. We're 18-9 against the AL.
I'm convinced that if the Pirates were in the AL Central right now, they'd be 15 games up on the next team. They'd be clinching a playoff spot next month.
Look at the Guardians, who we just talked about in the beginning of the show. They dominated. We dominated that series, and like I said, they didn't trail. The bullpen blew that one game, but like the Guardians, they're missing Jose Ramirez, which helped. But like they really struggle offensively, and they had the same record as us. You know, and they're like winning their division or right there with the White Sox. So like, yeah, like if you were in the AL Central, like we could be like 10 up or who knows what. So
Cleveland's
I
lineup
agree.
was just littered with hitters with OPSs in the 500s.
It
You
was
know,
bad.
like
It looked like the Pirates like 22 lineup.
yeah, I'll put this Pirates lineup up against anybody right now. Like and like you said, like I'm not scared to face anyone at this point, which is a crazy thing to say as
unless
a Pirates
it's Christopher
fan right
Sanchez.
Now. Yeah. Outside of like dominant left-handed starting pitchers,
Right.
don't give me those. But like I'm pretty confident in this team that they're going to be able to put up runs on everyone, and then it's just a matter of can the bullpen not blow up that day.
Yeah, if you would have said that line, I'd put this Pirates lineup against anyone. If you would have told me that in March, I mean, it's just it's unreal where they're at. Because
yeah, I mean, I'm serious when I say like if you're giving me a choice between the Yankees lineup and the Pirates lineup, I'm taking the Pirates lineup 10 out of 10 times.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's with Cruz out, Griffin out, Lowe out, and Horwitz out. It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, but no Aaron Judge this series, so that will obviously help things.
Is he out for the year?
Or is it he's out for like a really good chunk of the year?
Because I didn't say I think he is. He was out for a while, but I didn't know if he's like maybe for the playoffs or whatever. But
the last update as of Saturday is that he is not ready to resume baseball activities.
Yeah, it's going to be a while. And we talk about the record, you know, the Pirates could be 10 up this way. Our Pythagorean win-loss record, Jim, is 55-45. Like you're basically right at where the Yankees are. So there you go.
Yeah. That's where we would be with David Bednar.
Yep.
That's where we'd be.
Because, I mean, isn't Pythagorean just based off run differential?
That's it. Yeah.
And so if you add that in, like right there, and then, I mean, so that's including the bullpen doing what they did. So you add in like David Bednar, who's got a sub-3 ERA, like, yeah, you're there, if not better.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
yep.
All right. You got anything else to add, Ryan, before we carry on with our Mondays?
Yeah, I don't think so. NS9 report, I'll be posting that on the website here shortly. We got a new offbeat with Alex Stumpf. And I do have breaking news. DiNardo is home. He's back in Jacksonville. I don't know if his luggage is yet, though.
I'm surprised he didn't miss his morning flight. Slept in.
I mean, I don't know. I just like I haven't checked the bag in 10 years. I never have missed. I won't say that because I did miss a flight back in the day, but I think I was hungover. But yeah, like how do you you're an
I'm about to go.
DiNardo.
I have to fly for a work trip later today. I'm flying out and I won't be back until Friday. And I'm not checking a bag.
That's what I said. You fly all the time. Like how many times do you check a bag?
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not checking a bag.
I never.
Yeah.
So
Unbelievable.
that's all I got.
All right. Well, everybody, appreciate you all watching and or listening. Like the video if you haven't yet. Subscribe to the page. Again, Offbeat is out this morning, a new Offbeat with Alex Stumpf. I think he highlighted the Billy Cook game, so that'll be a fun thing to relive. And on top of that, NS9 post-game show tonight. So yeah, stay tuned. We've got a lot of stuff for you. It's a fun time of the year. The Pirates are hot. Trade deadline's coming up. It's yeah, things are heating up, and so we're
exciting.
it's really exciting, and so it's gonna be fun to talk about it. Hopefully, these next 2 months, and yeah, if things go well, we'll have some Bucktober. Knock on wood.
Yep.
All right, guys, we'll see you later tonight. Appreciate you all. Peace out.
Peace.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.